Some people have no shame. If the shoe fits, I come in love. Let us make adjustments. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a few pointers to shamelessness, okay? Some people have no shame, and it is outrightly sad to see, because even as adults, I'm talking grown folks, you would expect better. But sometimes you're like, it's better in the room with us. And I'm saying all of this honestly from a place of love, like I said, that you can check yourself. And a lot of you, the first time I say this was out of my mouth, you can be like, oh, I know someone who that is. But sometimes you have to look within and tell yourself, that tracks, okay? I'll say a lot of this has to do with emotional intelligence, but I would also highlight where some of these things can come from as we go along in the video. Listen, I'll be talking to people and I'm like, that should be 2 + 2 easy. But obviously people don't know, and I try my best to come on platforms like this, talk about it. I also have my mentoring school, which by the time you're seeing this video, registration will be open. Solutions Mentoring School is a one-on-one mentorship program where, you know, you're able to grow along like-minded Christian community of girls and women all around the world. A lot of these women are in their 20s and in their 30s, a few in their 40s, but it's centered around faith. But best believe we touch on every aspect of life, from career, mentorship, marriage, motherhood, every aspect, right? And there's always an opportunity to also have one-on-one conversations with me. I'm going to put that link in my description box. Be sure to check it out. So the first thing I'm going to say right off the bat is very first sign of shamelessness at your big age is that people come through for you and you receive it. You're grateful even for it. But when the tables turn and it is time for you to come through for the same people. Listen, I'm not even saying go out into the world and start to do good for people you don't expect anything back from. That's another level, right? But listen, just the mere fact that somebody has been there for you, say you have a friend or a sibling or even a partner sometimes, and this person is always there for you. You know, they're the first person you can call when you have issues, and you can best believe that they're going to come through for you. But when the tables turn, and it's time for you to then reciprocate. I don't like to call it reciprocate, because at the end of the day, I'm not doing good to you so you can do good to me. But listen, if you're also in the position to come through for me and you don't have shame. No shame in your game. A lot of times, personally, because I'm kind of person who pours into people a lot, I try to take a step back, and it's periodic. Sometimes maybe it's even once in 2 years for some people, depending on the frequency of how much I come through for you. You know, just take a step back to say, you know what, can you do this for me? Or can you cricket? And I'm like, that's shameless. I don't know how to owe people. And I know that also has to do with a lot of things I've sorted out with therapy, because, you know, sometimes you just have to accept what people are giving you and stuff like that. And I'll talk more about that in a bit. But I'm not keeping tabs particularly, but do good to others as they do good to you. It's that simple. See, it's even as little as posting on social media. You post your friend on social media for their birthday. Your birthday comes, normally they're out there posting. It's not even like they don't have social media or they're 100% not on social media. They won't post you. Like, think about it, fill in the gap, right? And it's just shameless. It's a very shameless place to be. I heard it this way recently, and I'm like, yes, that is it. You expect me to be dependable during your struggle, but you're totally absent during my crisis. No shame. Shameless Betty, okay? So this is actually more of a call to just internalize what I'm saying and begin to think more about it, right? Now, like I said, there are levels to it. At the end of the day, it's not really about do me, I do you, right? But really, if you're in a position to help somebody, especially those who have helped you in the past, and you don't show up for them, that's below selfish. Like, if there was any word, maybe sell meat. Yeah, humor. But if there was any word worse than selfish, that's what it would be. Okay, so check yourself. And yeah. Now, that said, another one that is so common with people of big age is you always wait for people to tell you to leave. Listen, I've read this one in the Bible. I'm going to try to put the scripture reference on the screen. Don't overstay your welcome with a friend. I'm going to literally put it on the screen. The Message translation hits the nail on the head. Like, how shameless can you be that You can't read the room. That's the word. Like, and I used to think this was simple. Like, do not overstay your welcome, right? And okay, so I'm going to stop here and quickly talk about people pleasing, because somebody like me, even if I'm dozing and I'm tired and I'm just like, okay, just be here and I'll wait for you. But listen, as I started to know more about myself, explore therapy, I realized that, you see, when it's time for you to leave and you're not catching it the first or second time around, I will tell you, sis, I have to go upstairs to do something. Maybe knock yourself out, or literally find your way out. Like, obviously I won't say it like that, but I would have to just wrap up the conversation. In fact, there was a particular scenario where it came up like this. Like, say you want to call somebody and you know that this person is going to out-talk you on this call. Once you pick the call, you say, oh, hey sis, I only have about 2 minutes here, but what's up? Like, I had to learn how to put boundaries, right? Because that was something I was totally lacking before. I've never been a people pleaser, like, no. But just that's, I can't call it selflessness now that I know better. Thankful for God and therapy, right? Because sometimes it's just making people more comfortable than you are comfortable. At the end of the day, I matter too. And as much as I am selfless, like the first point I said, I also have to be able to prioritize myself and my own needs by setting firm boundaries. And I'm going to tell you when it's time to go. Okay, I'm going to tell you, I only have 2 minutes here. Obviously, there are situations and circumstances that maybe you now be like, okay, I need to hear this person out. Or they're here because maybe they're in a condition. Like, everything is within context. But some people are just badly behaved normally. So for me, like I said, it was talking through these things in therapy, getting to the root of it and trying to realize that, why do I feel the need to actually make people feel comfortable even if I don't? But let me just quickly also acknowledge BetterHelp here. Thank you for sponsoring this video. BetterHelp connects you to a licensed and experienced therapist who is available to help you with a wide range of issues. It is virtual, so you can connect to your therapist either through your phone, your laptop, either by messaging, a video call, or even voice call. Starting up is so easy. You go to their website, you can use my customized link, betterhelp.com/Tolulokpe, answer a series of questions, and BetterHelp will match you with the right fit from their network, usually within 48 hours. We can all acknowledge that sometimes the reason we behave in the ways we behave is because we haven't dug deep to trauma or issues in our lives, in our background, in our past, making us, act out like that. So with BetterHelp, they connect you to a therapist, and a lot of them are so familiar, they're licensed, they're experienced with helping people with struggles like yours. It doesn't have to do with just like, personality issues like this or common sense issues, whether you have issues in your marriage or personally, or you're depressed. These are the reasons BetterHelp is here to help. So go ahead and sign up. You can also get a special discount on your first month with BetterHelp if you use my customized code, betterhelp.com/Tolulokpe, and get all the help that you need. Now, as I was saying, don't wait for people to tell you to leave their space. Like, a lot of times we always place the onions on the people, the recipients of our bad behavior, and it's exhausting. I can tell you that for free, it's exhausting. Don't overstay your welcome in people's houses, whether it's a holiday, a long holiday, or whether it's they gave birth. I can't really be putting timelines to it, right? But imagine going to visit someone who is a new mom, for instance, and then you're just comfortable, you're there with your perfume, and then she's tired, she's dozing, and you do not leave. Now, don't get me wrong, like I said, context is everything. Like, there's some people that they call it social battery. You do not need any social battery for. Like, I've had friends come to my house when I was pregnant or when I have a baby, and I will just sleep in the living room and go into the room and sleep, and they're there maybe even sorting things out for me or just hanging around. I do not need any social battery for friends like that. So identify people like that quite all right in your space. Make sure you are that to people, not just assume as well in terms of how you guys are related. But there are some people that, or maybe your acquaintances, and you just want to go say hello to them. Normally you guys don't have, that relationship that can make them be too relaxed in your presence, or maybe sometimes just I want to go to my room, let's go upstairs, can make someone more comfortable with having you in their space, right? But in some cases where the person has to sit down with you in the living room, look me, I look you, talking, the person is tired and exhausted. Know when it's time to leave. Okay, do not be a shameless body. This next one, if you fall in this category, you need help. You need a lot of help, because for the most part this is trauma related, and the point is making people's issues about you. I see with a lot of people with my knowledge of therapy and psychology who have maybe father wound, mother wound, or father or mother issues or whatever. It comes with a lot of being defensive. Somebody tells you something they do not like I cannot for the life of me, even if I'm going to explain later, I still first to acknowledge and validate that you did not like that. Even if I didn't mean it like that, it's my duty to then make you see that, oh, this is where I was coming from, and then we can have dialogue, reasonable dialogue about it, right? But if someone comes at you to say, you know what, I didn't like what you did, and you cannot first acknowledge to say, oh, I'm so sorry that you interpreted it like that. In a case where that was not what you meant, you can use that language. And in a case where that was what you meant and they didn't like it, just say, oh, I'm so sorry that came across like that. I'm so sorry that I did that, please forgive me. And then you can then go on into saying, oh, but this is the reason. But some people are too defensive, or they can make your entire issue about them. And this is what I don't like the most, even as adults, right? The point where maybe there's an issue that is burning, everybody's like, oh, this issue is bad, everybody know, and you now come in and then you find a loophole in that issue, so much so that everything is now directed to you. Oh, narcissism. Like, if you in therapy, sit across a licensed therapist, they will tell you narcissism of the highest order. You just make people's issues about you. It is so unfair. It is so immature. It is just not fair, honestly. A large part of empathy is putting yourself in people's shoes, right? And I always give courage to people who can even speak up. If you have people in your circle who, when they are upset, they're able to boldly tell you, be thankful for that. Be thankful for that. In fact, that's why people always say, oh, if a married couple do not fight, that means that, they're just deceiving themselves, because the fact that you're not sweeping things under the carpet and you're able to confront situations, honestly, is so freeing. It is so freeing. You're not harboring any hate or, upsetness, for lack of a better word, in your heart. It's so freeing. So be accommodating of people's expression when they come to tell you that, oh, I didn't like that you did to me. I know that sometimes some people can be funny about it, but listen, I think it's just in the way that people have gotten hurt. Maybe they said it in the past to you many times, and you're still not catching it. And some will even say it's like, oh, I don't want to make it an issue, but I don't like that. Don't say that to me. Like, I've had friends tell, no, don't use weary or idiots. Don't say that to me, right? So if I've said it that, who's weary? No, God forbid. Or you said something twice and I've just I didn't want to confront it and I just let it slide. The third time you say it, I'm going to say, listen, I've tried to tell you this. Can you not? Right? Now, obviously, at the end of the day, responsibility lies on everybody to be mature, even in their communication, no matter how many times you try to communicate it. That's why I like boundaries, right? But at the end of the day, you're the one hurting this person. You're the one making them upset. Please do not be shameless to the extent of making it about you or now being defensive about it. Just own up to whatever you do. Take responsibility for your actions. Actions have consequences. If you tell that to 2 years old and 5 years old, bruh, at your big age, stop it. This next one, I feel like it really jumped at me in my early 20s. I started to question behaviors of people that, fell into this category as the ability to borrow money from everybody. You do not have any restrictions on who you can borrow money from. You are too shameless. Let us face it, because I can no longer have bad behavior. I know this because some people will come to me to ask for money. Or when I hear those, they've gone to me to ask for money. I'm like, this is below the belt. Imagine, I don't even know how to put it. Imagine asking a 16-year-old to loan you money. Imagine painting a lavish lifestyle and then you come behind to be telling me, oh, please, can you? I'm like, child, you think I can't be lavish? You think I don't want to carry help yet? Stop it. No, stop it. I think it also has a lot to do with bad money management, right? Because sometimes people want to borrow money because they're genuinely in need. That's not the one I'm talking about. Trust me, that's not where this is coming from. And if you check your heart or look around, you probably know a couple of people who they just have terrible money management skills, and they always borrow money to pay someone. They borrow it to pay someone. And guess what? These people can even borrow their money because maybe they are actually supposed to be rich, but because they've squandered their funds, they're still then trying to keep up appearances. They are really broke. In this side of the world, I thought it was worse in Nigeria. In this side of the world, it seems worst because now you have credit cards, so people are drowning in debt. And because obviously it's not only people you borrow from, you also borrow from the bank, right? But let me not model it up, because the main point actually is you have no limit to who you can borrow money from. You can call your in-law and say, hello, please borrow me money. Hey, it's not just that one. Is a matter of finish. It's shameless. It's shameless. You can call your in-law to say, please borrow me money. Not once, not twice. You could call somebody, your colleague that you're not even cordial with in the office, to say, please borrow. No. It's wrong. It is wrong. I wanted to tie this a bit to people who come on social media to beg, but honestly, I would be lying if I didn't say that was understandable. The only thing I don't like about that is, number one, have you asked people who you can see physically? Because let's even assume that you're not a scam, because trust me, I've been scammed, okay, by people that I know they didn't actually need the money, or they always apparently. There was one case that I found out that this person actually used to ask, like that message she had sent to me, and I even sent her the money. She had sent it to almost everybody else in our alumni. Okay, apparently it was a job of theirs to go about. So there are people like that, right? And I know that bad people spoil good people. But anyway, like at the end of the day, there are people who will borrow money. What was my train of thoughts? I don't remember. But yeah, like social media begging, right? So apart from that, the ones that are genuine, I always feel like, so this data, like, because you're asking for 1,000 naira. And don't get me wrong, because sometimes they meet my head at home and I send money. Sometimes I'm discerning enough to know that you think I'm a fool, you think I don't work hard for my money, girl, bye. But I feel like it's also kind of, that one has to do a lot with boldness. So let me not even talk much about it, because I also don't want to, it's a very thin line, because I know that some people are really in need and, they lack, and that's their last resort, right? But to stay on point, if you're the kind of person that you just don't have shame on who you can borrow money from, please repent. Start to take steps. Start to dig deep into, why are you this shameless? Because you cannot continue like this. You cannot just continue like this. It's unacceptable, okay? I'm going to wrap it up with this last point. You see, we've said this, I've said this, people have said it, I've heard it said on social media many times. But emphasis, okay? Emphasis is important. Hearing by the word of God. Hearing always. People that put their mouth in things that do not concern them. This one, I don't know, because it seems like it's the in thing now. You're asking someone, so when will you have a baby? Somebody that you don't know, you don't have a cordial relationship or a personal relationship with a person, you just open your mouth. Wow. You're criticizing things you have no idea about. Like, literally, in the video I did about, us becoming Canadian citizen, I actually saw a comment there, somebody saying, because I had said in that video that, I wanted a decor, but the person said $250. But so I decided to DIY because, this is a once in a lifetime thing and I didn't have the budget at this time. And somebody actually, shameless, typed. And obviously the keyboard, the phones have given people temerity and audacity and effrontery, so I'm gonna let it slide. But somebody actually came at me saying that person could be a mom like you in need of that money. You could have just paid them to do the decor. As on top of this decor that I was awake doing for almost 5 hours, you want to tell me how to spend my money? But let me tell you what they didn't know. Listen, that decor person had actually given them money because they did something that was not even up to, it was more than that $50. I didn't have to say that, but I'd given them money in a situation where, they did something for me and I, just rewarded them bountifully. Did I make it to the internet? You all don't know context. You don't know anything about anything, but your mouth is there. I cannot for the life of me. You're the one who will say that, this person loves her husband too much. Oh, no, it's the husband that loves them too much. I saw Sharon Oja's wedding, Vicky James' wedding. And the analysis paralysis. I'm just like, these people are shameless. And listen, it's even biblical, right? Like, you have not even removed the spark in your own eye, the log in your own eye. Because deep down, you have issues you're dealing with, child. If mind my business and stay in my lane was a person, it will be Tolu Lope Solutions. Like, it's none of my business. None of my business. Many things that, maybe I'll say in my own right, I can comment. Like, number one is edification. Like, you will see me in people's DMs saying, yo, congratulations, period, gassing them up, all that good energy. That's common sense. And then there is now a thin line where, political issues, social issues, issues within the church. That one, it depends on how you meet me and how much close it is that I will just put my mouth. But if you know that I don't even like to put my mouth because in controversial issues. So that's the middle line. I see some influencers, go all out and do like 10 slides of stories about it. That's good. I'm not even going to condemn it as long as you're talking in the right, trajectory. Some people too are quiet. That's good because you also can place the world on your shoulder because you have a public platform. But the one that you're putting your mouth in people's personal issues is not societal, it's not political, it's not just outright people's personal issues. Oh, that clothes you're wearing is somehow. Oh, your tummy is too big. Oh, the wife does not fit the husband. Oh, when will children come? Shameless to the core. To the core. Maybe if you started to mind your own business more, all that judgments of the need to judge people, internalize it. Maybe you can make your own life better for it, honestly. And I say that with like a lot of love and a lot of understanding of how one's life can literally be transformed if you mind your own business. You get to learn more about yourself. You get to, focus on the things you should focus on. Stay in your own lane. Don't be shameless. If I see you on social media, make sure it's for good energy. Make sure it's for, political issues that you have solid opinions on. But you see all this bad belly, just leave it, okay? Just leave it. Leave it. If you're listening to this, there's a reason, okay? Leave it. Thank you very much. With that, I've come to the end of this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Whenever your heart is broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul.